Revology Cars. I'm excited to be here with you today to show you our newest product, the 1968 Shelby GT500KR. I'm Tom Scarpello, founder and CEO of Revology Cars. And I do a lot of videos that feature our cars, but this time we're trying something different, a live stream. We thought it would be neat to invite our team members here, and we've got our team members with us today. These are the people that make it happen. We really appreciate their hard work. So let's talk about the KR. The 1968 Shelby GT500KR was Ford's flagship performance car in 1968. KR stands for King of the Road, a self-assured, if not hyperbolic, moniker. Now, in 1968, there was a GT500 at the start of the year, and then the KR was introduced mid-year. It replaced the GT500. The main difference was the upgraded 428 cubic inch engine. Now, that engine was rated at 335 horsepower gross, the way engines were rated back in those days, although it's believed to be higher output, maybe 400 horsepower gross, which would put it at around 350 to 375 net. Now, nowadays, that's not, big numbers, but back in 1968, that was huge. And that was a big reason that this car is now legendary. So fast forward to 2023. Revology has been at this now for over 9 years. We've delivered over 170 production cars, all new reproduction 1965 to 1968 Mustangs and Shelby GTs. And now we've re-engineered the 1968 Shelby GT500KR. Like with all Revology cars, we've made it faster, we've made it more comfortable, more reliable, safer, better in every way. But it is still every bit a KR, the king of the road. Ladies and gentlemen, the new Revology Shelby GT500KR. Woo! Woo-hoo! All right, excellent. So this is our first ever 1968 Shelby GT500KR. This is a Ford and Shelby licensed product. Now, Revology Cars is the first company ever licensed by Ford to build a new reproduction Ford, and we're currently the only company in the world licensed to build a new reproduction 1960s Mustang. And as for Shelby, all of the Shelby GTs we build are recognized by Shelby American as real Shelbys. Some people call them continuation cars. Whatever you call it, a Shelby built by Revology in Florida is no less a Shelby than a Shelby built by Ford at Flat Rock. Now, our first Shelby KR, this, Car 168, was built for one of our most valued clients. This is his 5th Revology vehicle, and he has 2 more on order for 7 total. This car is finished in royal maroon. It has a Wimbledon white Le Mans stripes and an ivory Napa leather interior. Now, our philosophy at Revology when it comes to the appearance is to be as true to the original as possible. So we feel that we're really privileged to be able to recreate these iconic vehicles, and we respect their heritage. So when we make appearance changes, they're really because of functionality. However, you're really going to have to look closely at the Revology Shelby GT500KR to see the differences. It looks very, very close to the original car. Now, we'll do a quick walk around, and I'll show you some of the details. So first of all, at the front. For 1968, all Shelbys had a unique front end. Distinctive feature here is the rectangular fog lights in the grille. So we've recreated this precisely. The only difference you'll see on the Revology is the headlamps and the turn signals are LED. The 68 Shelby also had a unique fiberglass hood. They had added vents in the hood for improved engine cooling. Now, although we don't have a problem with engine cooling, we kept the vents for authenticity. Now, at the side of the car, this 68 rides on 17 by 8-inch Shelby 10-spoke aluminum wheels. The originals were 15-inch. The 17-inch allows us to package much larger brakes. It's a 13.1-inch rotor in the front with 6 piston calipers, 12.9 in the rear with 4 piston calipers, and also modern performance tires. These are Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. At the side, the original KR had the Cobra Jet badging with Cobra Jet 428. Obviously, since our engine is a 5-liter Coyote, we redesigned the badge to feature the 5.0. So, little detail most people wouldn't even notice. At the back of the car, the 68s all featured a unique tail lamp panel with argent satin painted insert, and the tail lamps themselves were also unique for 1968. We've recreated that here, except these are LED and they have sequential turn signals. The reverse lamps are also LED. One other little detail on the KR versus the GT500 in 68 was that the KR featured a unique fuel cap that says Cobra Jet on it, presumably to remind you why you're continuously having to put fuel in it, because you had a Cobra Jet. So the interior of the 68 Shelby was the deluxe interior that was available back in 1968. And we've designed our interior based on that deluxe interior, but significantly upgraded in terms of the interior materials. You won't find any plastic or aftermarket parts in a Revology interior. This is OEM automotive-grade leather and vinyl carpet. Every interior surface is wrapped, and it's all done in-house. Listen how that door slams. All right, so although the appearance is very true to the original, everything else is different. So starting with the engine, I mentioned that the original car produced around 350 to 375 horsepower. Our supercharged 5-liter engine produces 710 horsepower. That's about double what the original car did. Now, Car and Driver recently tested one of our 1967 Shelby GT500s with this same engine, and they achieved a 0 to 60 time of 3.7 seconds and a quarter-mile time of 11.7 seconds at 124 miles an hour. Those are impressive numbers, even for a modern car. Now, the Revology KR is available with a 6-speed manual or a 10-speed automatic, and the rear end features the Ford 8.8-inch gear set with a traction lock limited slip diff. Front suspension is double wishbone, and the rear is a 3-link with a torque arm and a panhard rod. So everything that I've said up until now, though, doesn't really tell you what is truly different about Revology Mustangs and Shelby GTs. These aren't one-off cars. These are low-volume series production cars. The KR, like all Revology Mustangs and Shelby GTs, is built on our M58 platform. So what is a vehicle platform? It's a configuration of common components, systems, and functions that are shared across different vehicle models. And that includes powertrain, cooling, fuel, driveline, suspension, steering, brakes, electrical, all of that. So building all of our cars on a common platform allows us to make investments that wouldn't be feasible with one-off builds. So one example is our cooling system. Now, the Coyote engine, the modern engine, requires a much upgraded cooling system from what was what the original car was equipped with. However, it's a much larger system, and it won't physically fit in the original car's architecture. But we don't just put the biggest radiator we can find and call it good. We actually redesigned the core support of our body of the car so that we could incorporate the current Coyote cooling system, all of it, radiator, fans, hoses, everything. And the reason we did that, the reason we took that extra step, made that extra effort, is because the OEM is spending millions of dollars doing development work to test their products in the most extreme environments, and we know that they work. We've shipped cars to the hottest places on earth, not only Arizona, but also Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and we've never once had a cooling problem. So our approach, using OEM, original equipment manufacturer parts, means our customers get best-in-class performance, reliability, comfort, and safety. So some other examples, front and rear glass, we use polyurethane adhesive to bond the glass to the body the way that glass is bonded in a modern car. And that improves safety because the glass is not going to pop out in an accident, but also improves the structural integrity, the rigidity of the body. It acts as a structural member. Another thing that we do is change all of the hinges and latch mechanisms in the doors and in the deck lid to modern parts. These components, I slammed the door earlier, but I can't slam the door enough because I love it. I love the way it opens. I love the way you don't hear the squeak and the creak like a haunted house. And I love the way it shuts. Those kind of details takes a lot of effort. And you can only do it if you focus on one thing and you spend the time and the money to do it and to do it to that level. So a lot of people can build a car that looks good in your garage or in your driveway, but nobody builds a classic Mustang or Shelby GT that is as reliable and fun to drive as Revology. And after all, driving is what cars are all about. Thank you very much for tuning in.